Let me guess, you're constantly battling the unique demands of shift work, aren't you? Feeling relentless fatigue, brain fog, or the health challenges that come with those irregular hours. Well, it's time to stop just surviving your shifts and really start thriving. At A Healthy Shift, we're revolutionising workplace wellbeing for 24/7 teams. As a veteran shift worker for over 40 years, I know exactly what you're up against, and that's why we've built something truly groundbreaking, the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a keynote, it's a completely new evidence-based program which is designed to empower entire shift-working workforces. I want you to imagine your team armed with the strategies to optimise their sleep, boost their energy, and elevate their health, no matter what schedule they're on. Our core keynote is powerful, but we also offer specialised add-on workshops, which cover deep dives into women in shift work, how to work your own roster optimally, as well as fatigue management for managers. We need your help to bring this transformation to your workplace. Managers want to invest in their teams, but they need to know that we exist. Are you ready to bring real, lasting change to your colleagues and your organisation? Go and visit ahealthyshift.com. That's ahealthyshift.com and follow the seminar experience link up the top, where you can download our detailed e-brochure, or you can simply follow the link in the show notes. Let's help your workforce thrive, not just survive.
Imagine a world where cancer is not the devastating disease it is today. At Australian Cancer Research Foundation, that is a world we believe is possible, but only through research. Find out more at acrf.com.au/bequest.
The night shift, here we go. Roger is the founder of The Healthy Shift, a veteran law enforcement officer. How many years now?
40.
You got away with 40.
I got away with it.
And then after that, they said, well, that's it, you're done.
No, I did.
You said, I'm done.
did.
Was the best part of that Vic Pol for you would have been working with those beautiful police dogs?
It was, absolutely. For 17 years, I did that.
Yeah, and there's a lovely photo that somebody's just found of you, a former colleague, presumably, who sent you with one of those very early puppies for which you were responsible in a helicopter. Yeah, it's an amazing photo.
It was a photo that was sent through to me today by one of the members at the police air wing, who was going through some photos in his locker. He's a historian, was going through some photos in his locker, and he sent me this photo, and I nearly fell out of the chair when I saw it. It's a picture of me with my first dog back in 1993, sitting in the back of the helicopter about to take off to go and patrol. Amazing.
Do we ever look at the hair colour from those days?
We try not to.
No,
people try. I try not to do.
But isn't it funny to do that?
Yeah. We've got the hair colour.
Yeah, we do. We've got the hair colour. The tribute, this is, you mentioned this to me, and I thought, well, we should talk about this because it's the sad loss of one of the favourite colleagues that you had at Vic Pol, Detective Leading Senior Constable Dave Stevo Stevenson.
Yeah, we lost Stevo during the week in very tragic circumstances, and Victoria Police lost probably one of their most outstanding members. He was just loved by absolutely everyone. Now, I've written a bit of a tribute here I would actually like to read. That it's a tribute to a long-time friend. Vic Pol lost one of its finest and most loved members this week, Detective Leading Senior Constable Dave Stevo Stevenson, 31694. Stevo did 27 in Vic Pol. He loved his motorsport, and he had just returned from overseas, having attended the Malaysian MotoGP. And he suffered a health issue, and he's been lost to not only his mum, dad and wife, his immediate family, but the great big blue family out there as well. And I can assure you that they're really hurting. And if there's one thing that people don't realise is once you've been part of the police and you have someone, a colleague who you've actually worked with alongside and you are very fond of,
when you get this news, it rocks you to the core, even though you may not have had contact for some time. Now, I know that there's literally absolutely hundreds of police members out there that are absolutely heartbroken out in the east. And we just want you to know that we all stand with you in grief. Stevo was a highly regarded and a very, very much loved member. And I feel so blessed that not only did I work with Stevo as a colleague, but it was as unique as it was. He also worked with my daughter in his role that he was in, which was really fantastic. And I remember my daughter telling me that she was working with him and he called her little Southie and he was highly thought of. And I just want to say, Vale, Stevo, geez, you will really be missed. And I'm just, our hearts go out to the family of everyone out there.
Indeed. It is a very sad time, but you did that beautifully. Well done. I know it's not easy. We will take some calls as we go through the morning together whilst the great man is here with us. You can choose to jump on board, 133693. Justin, kick it off for us. Justine, rather, good morning. Look who it is. Where have you been? Is everything okay?
Everything is fine. I have a son who's got 2 more exams. He's doing VCE, so I've had to be very quiet in the evening hours.
Stress in your home? A lot of stress in your home at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of stress, and he's the last. All his friends have finished, so he's still got 2 more to go, and it's so painful for him because he's had enough of studying.
How do they go with sleeping?
Oh, no, he's a good sleeper because he does a lot of exercise, but you just have to tiptoe around. You've got to make sure there's plenty of food in the house. There's such pressure on them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we've all been there, done that at some point. Just a different era, I guess.
But I heard you talking to Dennis about bras, and I was about to turn off the radio. I had to ring in and just say hello and I'm alive.
Well, it's good to know you. It's always good to know you're there, and I thank you very much for that. When's the final exam?
He's got 1 tomorrow and then next Tuesday. So all his mates have finished now, so he's got another 2. And then after next Tuesday, then they go to Byron Bay, and then I, stress about that.
Then they go, that's something else about which you can stress. Byron Bay, what could possibly go wrong? Huh?
Exactly.
Byron Bay. Roger, Byron Bay, what could possibly go wrong?
Not a thing.
No, Byron Bay is good because it's
yes, yeah, great, absolutely, it's really good.
I have another son. I have been through this with my other son, but the younger son doesn't drink as much as the older son. So I'm actually... No. Oh, Tony.
Go on, you live with that. You live with that. That's fine. Excellent work. Good to talk to you. Thank you. Chris Brody, good morning.
Hello, Roger. How are you?
I'm very well, Chris.
Yeah, I'm trying hard to spread word. I mean, I made mistakes when I was young, Roger, but I've turned the corner over many years, and we're really in a bit of a difficult situation here in the State District of Broadmeadows. I put it to the local Broadmeadows and Fortnum Police. I said, look, I appreciate there's industrial action on, and as such, I sent emails to the Premier, the Honourable Jacinta Allen, and Her Excellency the Governor of Victoria, the Honourable Professor AC, the Honourable Margaret Gardner. Sorry, I got the protocols wrong there. But we're in a difficult thing that even though I'm 61 and I am a traditional Broadie boy, we were only probably days away from probably sadly having to make a drastic call for arms to protect our own suburb.
Oh, I don't agree with that. We've had this discussion before, I think, and I don't... We feel like we need to, though, don't we? This is the problem. We feel like we need to protect ourselves, and when we feel like that, then something's gone wrong in the system in a very, very big way.
Previous program made the point with Dan here on 3AW in Melbourne. Apologies to everybody at 5AA in Adelaide and the Ace Radio Network and 6PR. Does the fact that this is being portrayed in sections of the media on a daily basis, sometimes hourly, depending on what you're watching, hourly basis, and the reporting. So any little bugger that's sort of thinks there's a chance he might get away with it is absorbing all this with friends and go, well, look, they're telling us you can get away with it. Nothing happens.
No, they're living
Nothing happens.
No, but they're living it, Tone. They're not the ones that are listening to the media and watching the TV and things like that. They're so busy
on their Facebook.
Yeah, but
they go, Fred got off, we'll get off.
Oh, that's right. No, that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, when I say that's true, it's on Facebook, so it must be true. The bottom line is that they are mixing in circles and seeing what's happening to all of their colleagues. They're happy to film it and they're happy to do it. There's no consequence. And when there's no consequence, there's a problem. Now, Chris raises a point. We, as the members of the public, now feel like we have to protect ourselves. And that's not the job of the public. The public shouldn't have to protect themselves. They should feel safe in their environment all the time.
Wasn't there always issues in various suburbs around Australia that were hotspots, known hotspots? Certainly was in Melbourne.
Absolutely.
Sure, there would have
there
been
was.
in Adelaide.
Yes.
Certainly would have been in Perth in the day.
Yeah, see, we talked about the gangs. I can vividly remember in the CBD of Melbourne around the time when I was growing up that they had the Lebanese tigers running around in town, you know. That was a gang that was running around. We were terrified in town just in case the Lebanese tigers, they used to walk around with black jackets on with a tiger on the back of it, bearing colours.
And the Broady boys weren't.
And the Broady boys?
The Broady boys weren't talking to the Malvern boys.
No, and Sunshine, and the Sunshine boys, and they were on buses and things like that travelling.
So what's changed?
I think the lack of consequence for it wasn't as severe as it is now. Like they used to, you get off a bus and like the Broady boys would get off the bus in the city and go and box on with a group of people and then leave and then the next bus would go out to Broadmeadows and so it would be on again. And I know that sort of thing went on.
So they didn't just come in for a Chinese meal and go home again?
Well, no, they would. No, they didn't. But the thing is, they weren't pulling machetes out and slicing each other up with machetes and fighting. I think
But there were knives.
There was, but there wasn't the incidence of stabbings back then that there is today. It's just common now, so common. And I always say, and let's take out of it the stabbing. When I say take out of it, if you're holding a knife, I can understand why someone would carry a knife to protect themselves, right? You carry a knife. But it's a big decision to plunge that into another human body, isn't it? Like when you think about it, it's a huge decision to make. Maybe I'm wired differently, but
Most of us are wired differently.
Well, majority
Most of us are wired. You're not going to do that. So it's
For the
few that are taking the risk.
well, it's 1,100 at least that the Vic poll know about. We saw Mike Bush come out and say
He
that.
did. The point of that is why are those people so inclined? What's going on in the world? What's happening that they grow up in a community that goes, this is what we'll do?
Is it cultural?
I don't know. That's
what
why
I mean.
That's why I'm asking. We'd ask the audience 133 693 if it's cultural. What are the parents doing? If it's cultural,
You got to take the parents out.
What are the leaderships? What are the leaderships inside those so-called
community
cultures,
groups.
community
Oh, I
groups?
totally agree with that because they come out and say, oh, he's a good boy and they're nice kids and all the rest of it. But the bottom line is the offending is severe and we can see who it is and what they're doing. There's massive problems. So what are the leaders doing in relation to it to try and work in and fix it? That's one of the biggest problems that we have.
There's a lot of them too. All right, we'll do this. We'll come back, take your calls, 133 693. I'm Tony McManus. Roger Sutherland is here, long-serving police officer, 40-plus years. And we'll also talk about things to do with shift work.
Yes.
At some point. 133 693. Come and join us.
Imagine a world where cancer is not the devastating disease it is today. At Australian Cancer Research Foundation, that is a world we believe is possible, but only through research. Find out more at acrf.com.au/bequest.
Your search for the best CFD trading provider is over. Access more instruments, tight spreads and fast execution on CMC Markets' next generation platform, TradingView or MT4 platform. Awarded WE Money's Best for CFDs in 2025. Make CMC Markets your provider of choice. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. General information only. CFD trading carries significant risks, which is not suitable for all investors. Please consider relevant PDS or IM and TMD on the website.
A quick pause from today's topic for something vital for every shift worker. That's right, that's you. Now, you know the relentless grind, constant fatigue, struggles with sleep, and that feeling your energy just isn't where it should be. And this is a common story in 24/7 roles, but it just doesn't have to be your workforces. At a Healthy Shift, I've combined 4 decades of frontline experience with cutting-edge science to create the seminar experience. Now, this isn't just a basic workshop. It's a comprehensive, game-changing program that is built to give entire workforces actionable strategies that they need to truly master their wellbeing on any schedule. And they're implemented immediately. Now, beyond the powerful core keynote, I offer specialised add-on workshops which dive deep into women and shift work, fatigue management, and how to work your own roster. Now, these tools empower your colleagues to thrive, improve performance, and boost their health, helping your organisation to retain valuable staff. Now, if you believe your workforce deserves better, speak up, because your managers won't know about this vital resource. Click the link in the show notes, download the e-brochure, and put it up the line. Invest in your team's most valuable asset, their health.
Let's have a look at the text line there, old son. Roger. Tony Mack, I'm a regular listener to you as always. Keep up the great work and always, but my request is, can you please have Roger on the program a little more often? He's very, very good.
That's very kind, isn't it?
That's from Jack. Good on you, Jack. Thank you. Morning, Tony and Roger. Please finally close a little something I wrote. Sympathy is quiet understanding, a gentle presence that listens without fixing, stands beside pain without fear, reminds us we're not alone. It's the warmth of one heart recognising another ache, offering comfort, not through words, but through the steady kindness of simply being there.
Excellent.
Good on you,
very
Dave.
True.
It's very nice.
Thank you, Dave.
I grew up in St Albans the entire 90s, and trust me, knife crime was prevalent, not new.
Yep.
You would have been exposed to a lot of that,
Yeah,
surely.
well, we were. I honestly, I don't recall that. I don't recall the knife crime in that. We were busy running around after,
Dogs.
like the Flemington crew with their armed rob. They were doing the armed robberies on the banks back then.
Yeah.
Which was all cut out. So we had. That was type of a gang, I guess, at that time. But it's good that callers call in or text in and tell us about stuff like that as a reminder. Otherwise, we go, oh, no, it wasn't like that back in my day. But it was.
Yeah, it was. And I think we should. And that's not to forgive what's going on now, by the way.
Not at all.
It's a reminder that some of it is historical.
I agree. Totally.
As well.
Totally.
133693. Artie, morning.
Good morning, Tony Mack, Roger and Simon. Yes, you should be on more, and condolences to your colleague, I think it was Stevo you mentioned.
Yes, thank you.
Roger, I wanted to ask you, do you remember the Sharpies and the Skinheads as well in the guns?
See, there's another group. That's true. Yes, that's right.
And historically, they clashed, but not in a violent way. It
was box on. It was fisticuffs, wasn't it?
With blokes.
Yeah. But Artie, do you remember the Lebanese Tigers and things like that as well? Is he still there?
Artie's disappeared.
He's gone.
We've lost him for some reason.
But yeah,
so just remind us then. I don't know what happened.
Well, we had there was the Boneheads as well. The Boneheads, the Skinheads. There was the Sharps.
Sharps.
Was it the Frankston Sharps? I think they were down from Frankston way. I'm trying to remember.
There were Sharps across Australia.
Well, yes. The punks as well. We went through that stage as well. The punk era. Yeah, I know. It was an interesting time.
Well, history is an interesting time. For whatever reason, we lost you, Artie. You were in the middle of saying.
Yeah, look, I didn't get touched by the Lebanese Tigers. You know, though, some of them were martial artists, and
that's right.
Consequences would occur. Like they just knew a bit of history. Like I don't go looking forward to, but I've dealt with a lot too in the security game. And the first attempt at armed robbery, I had a gun to my head at the Footscray 7-Eleven store, and thank God you'll probably remember that, Roger. I was the security manager there.
Yeah. You know why they're called 7-Elevens, don't you?
Oh yeah, this will be good.
Because 7 out of 11 of them got held up.
There goes another client. 133 693. Our telephone number. Barry on mobile. Good morning to you, Barry. Sorry, where are we going? Sorry. Oh, he just dropped. Barry, we're going to have a word with you, but you've disappeared. 133 693 is our telephone number. Look at all these texts. We'll get to them in just a moment. Justin, good morning.
Morning, guys. Just want to start off by saying I love your thoughtfulness to your fallen colleague there, Roger. I actually lost my great-great-granddad as a police officer as well, too, so I feel for your loss as well, too.
Thank you.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, it was. I didn't actually get to see him before he passed away. I was only about 4 or 5 months old before he passed away. So, but I just wanted to ask you, with learner license, when they expire, can you renew them or can you go for your P plate or your full license?
That's a question I honestly cannot answer. Honestly, I do not know the answer to that with your learners, because your learners goes for a period of time, but I'm not someone that would know.
It's not your area of expertise.
It's not my area of expertise. It was back in the day, but not now. I don't know. I'm not up to date with learners' permits and crossing over into P plates.
Somebody will know. Jump on board, let us know. 133693 is our telephone number. You can also send a text. We'll get to them in just a tick. Trev, morning.
Hello, is that Tony?
That's the one, Trevor. It's Tony speaking, and Roger Sutherland is here as well.
Yeah, well, I was listening to you talking about gangs and things like that.
Yeah.
I came here as a migrant in 1986, and back then there was no fear of problems or anything going on. But now I'm now 65, and I am now worried. I've got an electric gate, I've got cameras, I've got everything to try and protect myself.
So you've grown up, if I can just say, so you've grown up, even though we had gangs around like the Sharpies and the Lebanese Tigers and things like that, you weren't in fear in your own home, were they? They were doing their own thing.
That's right, yeah. Back in the 80s and 90s, there was no worries about...
Lost him.
Going beautifully with our phones here this morning, let me tell you. Humble apologies. We'll do this. We'll see if we can sort it out. 133693. Should point out that for people travelling inbound on the Monash, thank you for this caller, inbound on the Monash, we understand there has been a crash just before the East Link turnoff. So those coming in from, say, that Clyde Road area, in from that area coming into town, it seems to be, based on what we're hearing, a car has become off-road and has been a crash just before the East Link turnoff. If you see anything, let us know, 133693.
Imagine a world where cancer is not the devastating disease it is today. At Australian Cancer Research Foundation, that is a world we believe is possible, but only through research. Find out more at acrf.com.au/bequest.
Master your trading landscape and trade with CMC Markets, an award-winning provider backed by over 35 years' experience. Join more than 1 million traders and realise your potential. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. All trading involves risks.
Akadaka was in town. Always a fan?
Yeah, a big fan. I didn't go this time. I saw them last time.
Good?
Fantastic.
Yeah, memorable.
It's a big show, and it's a very memorable show.
It was interesting coming, I said to Dennis Walter of 3AW just in the last hour, coming in, and as you go into the tunnel, you could see the MCG in the distance and the light coming from the top of the stadium was just phenomenal.
And I heard Dennis saying as well that people were ringing up and reporting it from Q. They could hear it in Q.
Yeah, I know. Well, can they though?
Maybe they were hearing the neighbour playing, trying to match it.
The Q was the sounds of silence. Trev, hello. We're back. I think we've got you back, Trev.
We're back. Yeah, we're back.
You were saying?
Yeah, I was saying about how much crime is starting to affect Melbourne.
Yes. Because you were talking about how you've started to batten down the hatches at home now, which is something that you never had to do years ago. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So you don't feel safe anymore, but you felt safe even back then with everything that was going on. And Tony, that's the difference today.
Yeah.
Trev, where did you grow up? In which part of the UK?
Coventry.
That's right. So Coventry. Wow, that was a place. So there was a time when Coventry had challenges.
Oh, not too bad when I was growing up in the 60s, 70s. We had a lot of trouble in Ireland. Remember that?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, I had a pretty good childhood, very good. I met an Australian couple in Corfu. And that's what made me come to Australia.
Sorry, you studied Corfu?
No, we were on holiday in Corfu.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
An Australian couple in Corfu.
Yeah.
And they said, you got to come to God's own country. And I came here for a holiday and then decided to migrate. Got in and we migrated in 1986. So I've been here 39 years.
39 years, and you sound like you've just arrived.
Yeah.
Good on you, good on you, Trev. Sorry. Thank you. In Croydon, hello, Chris. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I think you're underplaying the seriousness and regularity of what's going on these days compared to back in, say, the 70s or 80s. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, it was generally, as you said before, gangs on gangs, Brody boys, Sunshine, St Albans boys. I grew up in Pasco Vale, and you know, we had quite a few. But there was generally a reason behind it. It was arranged, and it was out of public eye, and not, you know, we didn't have the home invasions, we didn't have the carjackings, we didn't have four or five teenagers with machetes, you know, targeting one person to rip them off and leave innocent people so devastated as is happening these days.
Yeah, I totally agree, Chris.
You go back in those days, and if you were in the job back then, as you know, you'd stick a size 11 up a kid's coit, drag him home to his parents, and 99% chance he would never offend again. These days, they don't give a rodent.
I was speaking to my colleague that I work with literally about that today, that if you got spoken to by the cops back then when you were growing up,
terrified.
No way would you go home and tell your parents, because you would have got it again and you would also got punished at home. Whereas now they're down at the cop shop making complaints in relation to it, and it's being accommodated. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have today. But Chris makes a really valid and a really good point here. It was all sorted out amongst them. It didn't involve innocent members of the public, ever.
Didn't ever?
Well, 99% of the time, unless someone stuck their nose in. But
so what is it? Goes to then the casualness. Is it the right word?
It's the lack of care, I think.
Lack of care.
It's the lack of consideration, care, or it's just. We're not. It's a lot of it's not being reported. Like, I'm speaking to a lot of police. When I say not being reported, we're hearing stuff on the media, but a lot of it, like, I know van crews and that are just going from one to the next every night. They're just flat out doing jobs and dealing with them. And I just want to make this point as well, which I think is a really important point to be made at the moment. These police are working to the bone at the moment. They're really working hard, and they catch these offenders who laugh at them the whole time. They have to show control. They have to then interview them, do all the paperwork for them, and 90% of the time, the offender is back out on the street before that officer is back home.
Yeah, which is an issue. Morning. I grew up in the 60s, 70s, Tony, Mac and Roger, and yes, there was rival gangs who fought amongst each other, and also the conflicts of the wars.
Yeah, that's
Remember
true.
that was a whole different culture as well.
Exactly.
But you never heard them attacking families in their own homes or carjacking women and kids in cars.
Correct.
Mainly amongst themselves.
Correct.
So if anybody can let us know, what shifted? What's the change?
It's cultural, in my book. It's cultural.
A consideration around their nation of arrival.
Origin.
Of origin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Whew. Barry in Reservoir. Hello, Baz. Morning.
Oh, g'day, fellas. Enjoy your show very much.
Good on you, Roger.
Thank you.
Barry, rather.
You know, there is a cure for Melbourne's crime situation, and it is no building prisons, out in the country, you have barbed wire cells, whatever, and bungalows. And when they commit a crime, they're in there for 2 years only with their phone. And they walk around the bungalow. That's their exercise, no commitments to anyone else. And they get out of there and they're thinking, I'm not coming back here. And if they do come back, it's a double sentence. Say it's 2 years you get. If you come back, it's going to be 4 years. And if they do this, I'll tell you what, it will completely demoralise crime in Melbourne.
I've got another solution. For every offender that you're with, like if there's one of you, then you get the single penalty. If there's two of you, then it's double. If there's three of you, it's triple.
Wow.
If it's four of you, it's quadruple.
There it is.
Because the more of you that are together, then the longer the penalty there is. Because if you think about it, the more people that enter someone's home, the more terrorising it is.
Yeah, good point. It's a really good idea, Rog. Barry, thank you very much for that. We'll go to Dave in just a moment. The point of that is, given all the wealth in the world, or in Australia in particular, and available to them, whether they've got their telephone, they've got their computers, we are a great sporting nation. Yep. You can go and kick a footy, you can play a round ball game, you can play tennis. All the things, there would be a zillion things available to young people. Mm-hmm. Why do they feel so disenfranchised?
I don't know.
Nobody's been able to tell me.
No, I don't know. But I do think it's
because... anybody asked?
I don't think they would know. You could ask them and they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know.
They're so self-interested and they wouldn't know why they do what they do. Self-absorbed, self-interested, self-absorbed. And there's no consequence for doing what they're doing. And they get encouraged by their friends on social media. That's the thing.
Yeah, social media has a lot
to answer
for. Which to answer,
yep,
I agree. Now, Dave, you're driving back from the MCG. How was it and where are you in the traffic conditions?
Yeah, no, I'm driving back. Look, it was unbelievable. I'm not a massive fan. I was actually working there tonight. But, look, that was high voltage rock and roll to coin a phrase. But they were unbelievable. The energy they brought to the show was, 10 out of 10. The volume, like you said, was probably off the scale. That was the loudest concert I've been to there.
Yep.
Look, they were unbelievable for their age. They really put on the show.
How amazing is Angus Young at 70 years of age doing what he does on stage?
He did I would say a 20-minute solo, and it was unbelievable. It just held the audience captive. He probably walked 3 laps of the MCG playing his solo, but geez, they were as sharp as they were in the 80s, I reckon. Unbelievable.
Now, tell me, last time I saw AC/DC, in between songs, they were off stage for an extended period of time. But like, they do 2 or 3 songs and then they'd be off stage. And everyone said that they were on the oxygen tanks. Right? Was that obvious tonight or not?
No, look, they were off for probably 15, 30 seconds. It wasn't long. But,
okay.
We do think the same thing. But no, look, they,
Good band. Just a really good Aussie band, aren't they?
They were great.
That's fantastic.
Great call.
They go behind the stage to use oxygen tanks.
Yep.
133693. If you're out and about, give us a call. Let us know who, how, why, where and when. It's all part of Australia Overnight. Tony McManus is here. Roger Sutherland, long-serving member of VicPol, Victoria Police. You can join us, 133693. Text line, as I mentioned, a lot of people have comments. We'd love the calls as well, 133693. There's one there from Damien who says, the parents of teenage offenders, where are they? And I just wonder whether or not communities have got together as communities and said to senior members of whatever the communities are, you know, what's going on? What do we have to do? What value can we add to turn the so-called cultural instinct around, the cultural perspective around?
But the cultural perspective comes from the parents as well. Like, they're the ones that are bringing this in. And now,
but
I'm not saying that they're encouraging it.
They're not saying to the kids, pick up a machete and off you go.
Yeah, I know, but where have they come from that was an acceptable behaviour? This is the thing. Now, the other thing, this text that we've got, where are the parents? I see this comment all the time. But people have got to understand, we laugh at that. we laugh at that because
Who's
the
we?
parents, the police.
All right, okay.
The police. We laugh at that because the police, they know the parents don't care at one bit, one iota. They do not care at all. The only time you hear from the parents is one of those poor little children are injured. And then they come out and say, but he's such a good boy. He just had a bad experience. And that's wrong because they've done nothing about it beforehand. And they throw their hands in the air. And a lot of these kids don't have parents. Don't have parents at all. They're already, like, years ago they used to be called wards of the state. They're now just, I can't remember what they call them now.
Well, a lot of people are saying youth crime, home invasions escalated, increase of refugees and immigration.
Yeah,
that is the issue across Western countries. What is the solution, particularly in youth crime? Bail after bail with repeat offenders, perhaps part due to limited capacity in our jails. Well, that's part of it as well. Very expensive to accommodate, run and maintain. Why can't we introduce very basic facilities?
Well, the facilities, when we talk about building jails, we're going to build jails that are expensive and comfortable.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Like, these people have made informed decisions as to what they're going to do.
You've got to feed them.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But you've got to remember that these people are making informed decisions knowing. No one's going to tell me that a 13-year-old and 14-year-old doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. That's absolute baloney, right? They do. And the thing is, we don't have to build expensive prisons for them. They're going to jail. And we need to protect the public, not protect... I'm hearing things today about research around, when people... If you put them in jail, you're going to make them worse offenders. No, not while they're in jail. They're not worse offenders. When they come out, they're going to go back in. End of story. But we need to protect the public.
So
must come first.
So the idea of prison once perhaps may have been where you go in and become rehabilitated. That hasn't been the case, I wouldn't imagine, forever.
Research shows that that's not the case.
Yeah, sadly.
That's not the case. But they're safer. We are safer when they're behind bars.
The 50s, the Bodgies and the Widgies.
I don't remember them.
The Bodgies and the Widgies, massive trendy rebels. They don't compare to the violent gangs of today.
Not at all.
Nathan, hi. You wanted to say good morning.
Good morning, guys. What do you think about this shitty stuff? You don't mean to put the big bins they put out. What do you think about them?
What do I think about the machete bins?
Where you put the bins, where the people are supposed to donate the machetes into these so-called bins.
Well, who's going to put a machete in a bin?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so tone deaf.
Yeah. Sue in Sunbury, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Tony.
Hi, Sue.
Yeah, I've had just out of one big scare.
Yeah, and that's the issue for many, to live feeling frightened, Sue, and that's not the great city we know and love.
Yeah, I know it is, Sue. Yeah, it's me. I just had 4 police come to my house.
Just now?
Yeah, just half an hour ago. Yeah, I had a lot of noises and it sounded like a few jumping over the fence, and then I heard a rattle and I heard noises, and I started my heart. I didn't know what to do. I was asleep, not asleep.
So you're in bed. Yep.
I was up to it all, and I didn't know what to do, so I just rang 000.
Yep,
anyway,
that's the right thing to do.
Here, and
so you're by yourself, obviously?
Yeah, me and my dog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got people in the units around, but that doesn't mean anything because everyone's asleep.
So you did the right thing. You did the right thing by ringing 000. That's what they're there for, and they'll take that call and get someone to come and check it for you.
Well, I was surprised there was 4 of them that came here.
Yep, that's fantastic.
They came in, they went around the backyard.
Good.
And they said, look, we know things right now are worrying people, and we know that they asked me, checked every room in the house. I said, look, you can go in, come in and go in the backyard because I've got a side gate that's always locked anyway. But it's my fence. They've already damaged them.
Sue, I'm pleased that you had the 4 officers and It's an ongoing challenge, and we've all got to be aware of some of the challenges that we're all facing at this stage.
I know.
You look after yourself, and thank you for that very important call. Lovely note. Sorry, Sue, go on.
My son was a police officer.
Oh.
Yeah, here in Melbourne. He doesn't live in Melbourne now, he's in England, but he was in for 10 years.
Okay. Very good.
Well done. Thank you for that. That lovely note. Where's that note gone, Simon, from the caller who rang through? Chris spent 37 years in armoured vehicles. Just wants to send sympathy to Roger and all of Stevo's.
Yeah, very
family.
nice. Yep. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
It's very kind. Jill, David, Mark, Liam, we'll come to you the other side. It is Australia Overnight. Morning. In excess or ACDC. In excess or ACDC, if you had the choice.
In excess.
Yeah.
All day, every day. I saw them live when they
too.
came back from America. They were amazing. With Michael Hutchinson.
Yeah, of course. They'd have to be there with Michael.
It was. They were amazing band live. And still great to listen to.
So, the loudest band used to be Thorpe. So, based on what we're hearing, Thorpe no longer would hold that title.
I heard the caller call Dennis saying that he went to Metallica the other night and said that AC/DC left Metallica for dead. That's a big call. As far as the volume went.
Big call.
Huge call.
I was award 7780, 3 years. 3 years in Tirana, a couple of stints in Pentridge, changed my life around 42 years ago. After my last sentence, these days prison is considered a holiday at government expense. Youth is sport, the attitude, you can't touch me in my day, you got a good kick up the clacker.
Yep.
Mark at Scoresby says that.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Sergeant Cook. I probably knew that Sergeant Cook too, I reckon.
Is that that's what shifted in terms of how officers are permitted to behave in doing their job?
Body-worn cameras now, you see. It's protective both ways. Like, I know a lot of the officers love them. But anyway, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Have a look at A Healthy Shift, the website, A Healthy Shift. You'll find it at Roger Sutherland. Thank you. It's always good to have you in the studio.
It's great to be here.
We'll take more of your calls the other side. 133 693. Come and join us.
Imagine a world where cancer is not the devastating disease it is today. At Australian Cancer Research Foundation, that is a world we believe is possible, but only through research. Find out more at acrf.com.au/bequest.
Master your trading landscape and trade with CMC Markets, an award-winning provider backed by over 35 years' experience. Join more than 1 million traders and realise your potential. Learn more at cmcmarkets.com. All trading involves risks.
What makes Cathay Pacific the world's best economy? Maybe it's menus crafted in partnership with Michelin-starred chefs, or gourmet dishes that bring international flavours right to your seat. It's this dedication that's earned us world's best economy at Skytrax 2 years running. Fly via Hong Kong to the UK, Europe, Asia, India, North America and the Chinese mainland. Feel the difference in the world's best economy. Book direct at cathaypacific.com.